Don't be afraid, come on, baby. I'm getting my voice back. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Listen, we're gonna let this play for a little minute, and of course, it is fight week. Right now, it's 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and there's so much to talk about. April 28th, 2015, but we might as well say it's the 29th, 3 days away.
Every time I go out there, I'm comfortable.
Just listen, be calm.
I'm more comfortable
It's fight
for this fight than I was for the last one.
Even in training, I feel excitement, determination is there, encouragement. I'm happy doing my work, hard work every day. I'm so motivated for this fight.
Me and my father, our chemistry is where it needs to be.
This is boxing. I believe that he's a good defense, but how can you win if you always defense? So boxing, you have to hit it. Even you have to throw a lot of punches.
We're working on a lot more combinations for this fight. I'm gonna be a lot stronger. A lot stronger.
I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about my opponent right now. And I'm more worried about De La Hoya fight.
He faced Oscar De La Hoya. Made him come down to 155. He was trained going into the fight. And you let him take you 8 rounds. A dead man. He know that he's dealing with a real one. This is no game. He know it.
I can read his mind that maybe this guy can beat me. You know, can put me out one in my record.
I hold the WBC at 147. I hold the WBC at 154. I hold the WBA at 154. And I hold the WBA at 147. Something that's never been done in boxing history. This fight is very intriguing because it's a question mark. Do this guy, because everyone is saying if anybody has a chance of beating Floyd Mayweather, this is the guy. That's why everybody should tune in. I know I can't overlook this guy.
This is about the Lord my God that I'm serving. You know, to glorify His name. That I want to let Him know, let the people know that God can raise someone from nothing into something. You know, God, what He's done in my life it's amazing. May 2nd, it's gonna be about how God delivered him into my hands.
I'm gonna make a statement. Stay and watch. Because I'm pretty sure he gonna bring his best. And you know I'm definitely gonna bring mine. But one thing about Floyd Mayweather, I always find a way to win.
You know, I got Manny Pacquiao winning. Let's get that out of the way. Now, with what I do, I look at myself as being an unofficial promoter of boxing events. I do multiple videos like this. I'm providing actual fight footage. I'm also providing highlights now. And so look at me as somewhat of a marketer, promoter to an extent. Of course, I'm not paid by these people, but, excuse me, to an extent of Mayweather Pacquiao and every single major fight, which I cover. So, even though I have Manny Pacquiao defeating Floyd Mayweather, still I have to give Floyd Mayweather his just due. So I am T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy live from RealCombatMedia.com. 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, April the 28th, 2015. We might as well say it is 3 days away. We just have to get through the rest of Wednesday, get through Thursday, Friday is the weigh-in, and then Saturday, May the 2nd, Cinco de Pacquiao. It's over. Now I want to say this. There's so many things that we're going to talk about. You're probably not going to like it if you're a Floyd Mayweather hardcore Black Power supporter. But what I say is the truth. You don't like it because there's a black man saying the truth, so I get called a coon, an Uncle Tom, a race traitor, because I'm supposed to support what Floyd Mayweather does no matter what, or not call him out on his flaws because he is African American. Fuck that talk. We talk about the truth here, just like there's been many times in my tenure on YouTube and in my tenure on this channel, the 9 months there's been T Street Controversy Live solo operation, I have addressed Manny Pacquiao's dirty sinner ways. He lied about sparring with Aris Landy Lara. I never did a video on that bullshit because you know why? It never made no sense to me. He's an Al Heyman fighter. Also, he's a left-hander. What are you bringing him in for? So, it's certain things like that when I tell you, when it comes to knowing that Mayweather versus Pacquiao was happening, of course you wouldn't believe a guy like me. You think I didn't know it? But at the same time, I did the goddamn video. I am likely one of Floyd Mayweather's biggest fans. But at the same time, you have to understand, being one of his biggest fans, I've learned a lot from him as the way he markets himself, as the way he promotes himself. So therefore, look at me as being a Floyd Mayweather understudy, but at the same time, even though what I may say about him is the truth and it's taboo to talk about when you're considered media. Remember, my foot is just in the door as media. I'm like, you know, like brand new, even though, put it this way. To talk about some of the things with Floyd Mayweather is taboo, but at the same time, I have to stay true to myself and say, listen, I respect the shit out of Floyd Mayweather in the ring, but outside of the ring, he's a goddamn asshole dickhead and nobody likes him. And I'm talking about in his circle. Okay, we're not going to say nobody because that's going to mean that nobody likes him as far as everyone. There's a large amount of people in his circle that don't like the man. And it's not that he cannot be a likable guy, and it's not that Floyd Mayweather or Floyd Joy Sinclair, as he was born, and Money Mayweather are the same person. We understand he has to sell himself. But at the same time, the Money May you see in front of the cameras, the life with the money and everything like this, and I know you're getting mad. You're hating me to talk. I know. But at the same time, we're getting somewhere. He's not the nicest guy in the world. He's known to be very sensitive, immature, a liar, and hypocrite. And of course, once again, I'm gonna do you the service of saying each time I state a flaw of Floyd Mayweather's, I state a flaw of Pacquiao's. Pacquiao used to be a dirty sinner. He should have never said no to the drug test. But then, let's go to the other end of the spectrum again. This is just one of the things that I just can't seem to understand how it gets a pass. How it's been getting a pass. And Floyd Mayweather and the Money team, before the Money team was even formed at that time, Floyd Mayweather and Team Mayweather were insinuating that Emmanuel Dapidran Pacquiao was using performance-enhancing drugs. Emmanuel Dapidran Pacquiao was using a strength and conditioning coach, Mr. Secret Juices and Shakes, Alex Ariza. So, Floyd Mayweather, right, has the same strength and conditioning coach that Manny Pacquiao had when Floyd Mayweather was insinuating that Emmanuel Dapidran Pacquiao was using performance-enhancing drugs. My God. It's a shame because a lot of this stuff I talked about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even when I was you know, and was being called a liar. My name was being dragged through the mud. It was a warrior sources and everything. What about that? What about that? That defamation lawsuit when Floyd Mayweather and Team Mayweather at the time, remember they wasn't Money Team yet, had to pay an undisclosed amount of money to Manny Pacquiao because they did not want to provide proof or could not provide proof that Manny Pacquiao was on performance-enhancing drugs. You know, and the list of situations like this go on and on and on. Like, I played that one clip from that ESPN, beautiful ESPN special that aired tonight. It was April 28th. It was called Mayweather Pacquiao Sports Center ESPN special. It had Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, and it's crazy. I watch ESPN Friday Night Fights all the time, and I always forget the guy's name. Testator, I always forget his name. Got a bad memory. And Stephen A. Smith. But basically, they were showing, you know, some exclusive stuff. And what you heard was Floyd Mayweather talking about, goddamn, trying to unlock my phone. Floyd Mayweather talking about how Manny Pacquiao made Oscar De La Hoya come down to that catch weight. But if I'm correct, god damn it, Oscar De La Hoya was A-side. So it's stuff like that, what's called propaganda, where Floyd Mayweather supporters, what they're called is, it's this new term I learned not too long ago. Flomo? Yeah. They're called Flomos. They seem to overlook this stuff or take everything Floyd says as being like super serious. So I guess what I'm saying is this. Who was A-side in that fight? And one thing you can never do is a fighter can't say, oh man, he drained me. You signed the contract. You signed the contract. I personally admit that Oscar De La Hoya had no business going down to that weight, and no business going down to 144, 145, whatever it was. He had no business doing that. But at the same time, Oscar De La Hoya was A-side. So it's like Floyd Mayweather just showed you the perfect example of propaganda. And where people see, and where people are going to be saying, yeah, well, he drained Oscar De La Hoya, because Floyd Mayweather is just because he's rich doesn't mean that he's going to be the most ethical person and tell the truth. But yet people eat it up. People eat it up. And it's almost like a disease in the African American community. And I understand that. I like, look. Let's get this part understood. I've been through more as a black man, as a black man in the last, I would say, 15 years to solidify. I know what it's like. I'm not no fucking coon, and I'm not no fucking Uncle Tom. So it's like this. I'm not just saying this as an attack, you know, because I got a lot of thoughts on what's going on in Baltimore with the riots. It's like, why y'all fucking shit up? They clowning you in the news and the media. You know, like how you just pretty much, a lot of them don't even know what they're probably fighting for. But it's stuff like that that's taboo and controversial to say when you're black, because it's like, yeah, you know, like them cops, yeah, I understand all that shit was wrong, but at the same time, what's fucking, like you done burnt up your CVS. Like, what is that shit? That's probably your only CVS. You know, so now when you gotta go get your fucking medicine, you gotta drive an extra fucking 500 miles. Like, it don't make no sense, you know, like to do stuff like that. But, you know, I can understand to an extent. But then when you costing the city money to have to rebuild that shit, you wonder why there's no books in schools. I get mad over stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. This week, tomorrow, after the final press conference, I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout. You know what Google Hangout is. I'm doing something different. I'm using my education and my marketing and promotional and business skills to launch a new channel. It's called T Street Controversy Live After Dark. I'm going to be putting the link to that to that channel right down in the description box. And just think about it. It's called T Street Controversy After Dark. Just think about it. Start putting things together. I actually came across the idea. I didn't come across it myself. You know, I learned it with my former colleague, and I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. But in this case, I'm not using it in the same way it was being used for over there. I'm just really trying to try something different. You know, sweeten the pot. You know, there's so much we got to talk about, you know, the trials and the tribulations of Floyd, Money Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao, and now that we're finally, you know, at this point in time, to whereas in next week around this time, hopefully it'll be all over. Hopefully we'll know if Floyd Mayweather was ducking Manny Pacquiao for a reason. Hopefully we'll know if after all these years they've been saying only one person has the chance to beat Floyd Mayweather, and it's Manny Pacquiao. We won't know all of that. It's either going to be 47-1 or 48-0. I cover every single major fight live. So you know what that means? That means love me or hate me, criticism or not, I'm going to be right here moments after the fight goes off. And what you're going to see is it's going to be a crazy night on Saturday night. You know why? Because you're going to have YouTube channels popping out the woodwork, everybody trying to hit it big. You know, you're going to have, you know, like so many people, you know, doing cheating fraud shit. Like posting, you know, Mayweather Pacquiao highlights 2 hours before the fight even start. You know, you're going to see a lot of fraud shit on YouTube. You got to understand, YouTube is going to be cracking down heavy this weekend. People think this YouTube shit is easy. Yo, we will see. Only the strong will survive. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout Wednesday after the final press conference, Friday after the weigh-in, Saturday after the fight. And all your questions about what will happen if Floyd Mayweather wins, I'm going to be right here. And boy, oh boy, can I wait, because I got a feeling, just like Floyd Mayweather knows. Listen, you think he out there chopping wood with no goggles on, pause, with no goggles on, risking getting wood chips in his eye for no, like, listen. All this shit is almost over. The death of the Flomos or the death of the Pactards. Call it whatever you want. Yeah, I've been hearing these terms before, and I was like, what does these terms mean? But now I have a general idea of what these mean. People say, T-Street, all your subscribers are just going to fade off. My numbers are open to the public. Go ahead, go check them out. T-Street Controversy Live numbers. My demographics are fine. I'm still going to be fine. Because why? Because I cover every single goddamn major fight live. And nobody on YouTube doesn't like me. T-Street Controversy Live with RealCombatMedia.com, and we cover every single major fight live. So give us a couple of months. We're working out the kinks, and by God, you listen. Come Saturday night, 46 will try. No, excuse me, 45 have tried. Think about it before you say some dickhead shit, because I set people up all the time with this. 45 have tried. One will succeed. Emmanuel Dapper Pacquiao. T-Street Controversy Live. We will be providing fight week coverage, so stay tuned. What you're going to see is every night before about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to be seeing that. We're going to be uploading Mayweather Pacquiao fight week footage. Also, check out the highlights we have here from various different fights and promos, courtesy of Showtime, Mayweather Promotions, Premier Boxing Champions. Thank you, Al Heyman. T-Street Controversy Live. Remember, I used to do this every video. Those days are long gone. I'm going to be suit and tie soon. Secrets. My fucking TMT hoodie not going to be here till Wednesday. That was my fault. Next Wednesday, that was my fault. But yeah, I was supposed to have, I guess it's a good time to say it into the video, I was supposed to have like my TMT hoodie on, my TMT hat, and I was going to be sitting here like with my back and praying, my hat turned to the back. You know, I like to go for the theatrics. But this week is going to be a nice, clean week. We're going to provide coverage every single day. You know, I'm going to, you know, of course, every single Mayweather fight, I go out and get me a nice new, fresh, controversial hoodie, new hat. So it's going to be a good week. Non-alcoholic week, nice, clean, and sober. You know, I'm already ready, and pretty much after tomorrow, all my errands will be ran, and pretty much I'm going to just be ready in Mayweather Pacquiao mode. You know, come Saturday night, you know, I'm going to light some candles. I'm going to go get some, maybe some Arby's, some smoking hot Arby's. and pretty much I'm going to sit in the middle of the floor, Indian style, because I've already paid for the fight. Sit in the middle of the floor, Indian style, and just enjoy the fight. You know, give me some RBs, maybe give me like some Fruity Pebbles or something, you know, and then do Google hang out. It's going to be a beautiful, glorious night. But as I said, you can expect Mayweather versus Pacquiao content all week long, and I'm going to be sprinkling in other videos about this and that and this and that. You know how I roll. T Street Controversy Live.